to my YouTube channel named Experimental Physics. I am Dr. Narendra Matkari, who is Professor of Physics in MIT World Peace University. Today I am going to explain you Stefan's law experiment, or an experiment where one can find out Stefan's constant. Now let me explain what is Stefan's law at first. Suppose there is a object, say black body, which is maintained at a temperature of T, and suppose the surrounding temperature is T0. Now if T is greater than T0, then this hot body will start emitting heat. This Stefan's law says that the rate at which this heat energy is emitted is proportional to T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. I will repeat this. The rate of emission of heat by the hot body to its surrounding per unit time, per unit area is given by E1 is equal to, or E1 proportional to T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. T is the temperature of hot body and T0 is the temperature of surrounding, and T is greater than T0. Now let us introduce constant of proportionality. So we will have E1 is equal to sigma into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. This sigma, which is constant of proportionality, is called as Stefan's constant. Now this E1 is the heat emitted per unit time per unit area. Now let us denote E1 by the same notation, but let us introduce area on right hand side. So sigma into A into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So A is the area of the body. So this E1 now becomes the heat energy emitted per unit time, and it is given by this expression. So this gives sigma is equal to E1 upon A into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So what is Stefan's constant then? It is the constant of proportionality between rate of emission of heat and the difference between T raised to 4 and T0 raised to 4. So the value of Stefan's constant is sigma is equal to 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 watts per meter square plus Kelvin raised to 4. The aim of this experiment is to find out Stefan's constant by using the apparatus given here. So now let me introduce the apparatus. This is a hot body. These are nothing but copper plates. They are coated with black color, so it becomes a black body. Then we are going to heat it with the help of a power supply. The temperature of the hot body can be recorded using thermometers. We are using 3 thermometers because we want to calculate average temperature of the body. These are the electrical connections of the power supply to the body. When you make the power supply on, some voltage will be applied, some current will pass, and the body will get heated. So now some other instruments are also there. This is the stopwatch. I will explain you the purpose of stopwatch afterwards. And this is the lens which is used to read the temperature of the thermometer. Now let me explain how we are going to do the experiment. The first step is to make the circuit on, to make the power supply on. So I have made the power supply on now. Now the voltage is 34 and the current is 0.38. Let us choose a sample value of the voltage. I will choose 20 volts. So by using this knob, you can adjust the voltage. 20 volts. The current is 0.21. Now this is already connected to this hot body. So I will switch it off. Remember, in our experiment, we want to measure T as well as T0. Now what is T0? It is the surrounding temperature. That means it is the room temperature. So before you switch on the power supply or before you start the experiment, you have to measure the room temperature. So now the room temperature, as we can record, is something like 25 degrees centigrade. We have to convert this temperature into Kelvin. So 25 plus 273, it will be 295 degree Kelvin, and then we can start heating the body. Now what is the experiment? Before I explain this experiment, let me explain what concept we are going to use to calculate Stefan's constant, because our aim of the experiment is to calculate Stefan's constant. See, you are supplying electrical energy to this hot body. The body is getting heated, and when it is sufficiently heated, it will start emitting heat energy. So we are supplying the energy and the body is emitting the energy. So the electrical energy supplied by this power supply per unit time is given by V into I, where V is the voltage and I is the current. Now this power supply and this copper plate system is an ideal system in the sense that whatever electrical energy you supply, it is transferred to this system with 100% efficiency. So there is no loss of electrical energy. So whatever electrical energy you are applying, that is straight away converted into heat. Now what will happen? Initially you are supplying some electrical energy depending upon voltage and current. So when you make the power supply on, the body will become hotter and hotter. As the temperature of the body increases, it will start emitting more and more heat. But since the voltage is constant and current is constant, the rate at which electrical energy is supplied is constant. But the rate at which heat energy is emitted out will keep on increasing. So suppose V into I is the rate at which electrical energy is supplied and E1 is the rate of emission of heat. After some time, when E1 is increasing, that means rate of emission of heat is increasing, a stage will come at which the rate of supply of electrical energy, that is V into I, will become equal to rate of emission of heat by this hot body. So the system will come in equilibrium. Before that, the temperature will keep on rising. But when the equilibrium is achieved, that means when electrical energy supply rate and heat energy emission rate are equalized, what will happen? The temperature of the system will stop rising because there will be an equilibrium. So how we are going to take the observations? Look, after making the system on, you have to record the observations in such kind of observation table. There is a stopwatch given to you. By making this stopwatch on, you can read the time like 0 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and then you watch the temperature rise in the middle thermometer. So keep on writing the temperatures as the time proceeds. Record the temperature after every 2 minutes. As the temperature increases, it is marching towards equilibrium. So at some stage, say after a few minutes or after say 1 hour, one has to keep a watch on this temperature rise. After some time, the rate of increase in temperature will start decreasing. That means if you plot the graph of temperature versus time, the temperature will rise initially, but the rate of rise in temperature will become slower and slower, and a stage will come at which if there is a equilibrium, then the temperature will not rise further. Our aim is to identify this stage. So record the temperatures after every 2 minutes. Then a stage will come at which even if the time is proceeding ahead, the temperature will not increase. So that is called as equilibrium temperature. Now if all these values are noted, then the Stefan's constant can be easily calculated. Let me explain how we are going to use equilibrium condition for calculating Stefan's constant. So we have V into I is equal to E1 because there is equilibrium. V into I is the rate at which electrical energy is supplied, and E1 is the rate at which the heat energy is emitted. So we have E1 is equal to sigma into A into T raised to 4 minus T naught raised to 4, and V into I is the electrical energy. Voltage can be read on voltmeter, current can be read on current meter, and sigma is given by V into I upon A T raised to 4 minus T naught raised to 4. Now what is T naught? T naught, it is the room temperature. That means before you switch on the power supply, you have to record the room temperature or surrounding temperature. And what is T then? It is the steady state temperature at equilibrium condition. So that T can be recorded. The stage after which temperature will not increase is the steady state temperature, and then you can substitute all the quantities and you can calculate Stefan's constant. Now let me explain how we are going to calculate area of these copper plates in the experiment. Let me explain. In our experimental set, the radius of the copper plates is 9.88 centimeter, and if you calculate the area, then area will be calculated by pi r square. So if you substitute r into this, then area of the copper plates will be 306.8056 centimeter square. So area is known. Area is known, T is known, T naught is known, V is known, I is known. You can calculate Stefan's constant. Now, the MK's unit of Stephen's constant is watt per centimeter square plus Kelvin raised to 4, and we are going to calculate Stephen's constant in CGS unit. See, watts means joules per second. So joules per second is the SI unit. To convert that into CGS unit, you have to convert that into ergs per second. So 1 joule is 10 raised to 7 ergs. So in CGS unit, the Stephen's constant will be V into I upon A into T raised to 4 minus T naught raised to 4 into 10 raised to 7 ergs per second per centimeter square plus Kelvin raised to 4. Now we have done some sample calculations. For example, in the first experiment, when the temperature is 20 and current is 0.25, the steady state temperature when it becomes constant is 328 Kelvin. Of course, on thermometer you are going to measure the temperature in degree centigrade. So 328 is Kelvin temperature. So in degree centigrade temperature add 273 so that you get Kelvin temperature, and this 300 is the room temperature. So 20 is the voltage, 0.25 is the current, 10 raised to 7 is joules to ergs conversion factor. This is area of the copper plates, and then this is steady state temperature, and this is room temperature. So when you perform all these calculations, the answer comes out to be 4.69 into 10 raised to minus 5 ergs per second per centimeter square plus Kelvin raised to 4. So we can calculate Stephen's constant in this way. Now to make our calculations more accurate, you can do this entire experiment at different voltages and different currents. So after doing first experiment, let the hot body become cool, switch off the power supply after completing the experiment, let it become cool, and when it achieves room temperature, once again make the power supply on and set a different voltage. For example, you can set a voltage of 25 volts. There will be some current. Then once again the temperature will rise, it will become constant, and you can do the calculations for a different value of current and voltage. Of course, before you switch off from experiment 1 to experiment 2, you have to allow the system to come to the rest. So this is called as Stephen's law, and we can calculate Stephen's constant by using this law. Now Joseph Stephen was basically from University of Vienna, and he published something like 80 research papers. And the Stephen's law, which I stated just now, has been formulated by him in 1879. His law was based on observations taken by Dulong and Petit, and originally his law was proposed for black body. However, his student Ludwig Boltzmann extended it to all bodies. Stephen's law can now be derived from Planck's law. Stephen calculated Sun's surface temperature by using his law, which was 5430. This is the misprint actually. It should be 5430 degrees centigrade. Stephen also studied thermal conductivity of gases and liquids, evaporation, diffusion, kinetic theory of heat, Maxwell's electromagnetic equations, and skin effect. Now at the end, I want to tell you the importance of this experiment or importance of Stephen's law. Please note that the first ever calculation of Sun's temperature could be done with the help of Stephen's law. So he measured the temperature, it was 5430. Now not only Sun, you can use this law to calculate temperature of any star. Along with temperature, the radius of star can also be measured. And then in this law is also encountered in thermodynamics of black holes in Hawking radiation. And this law has been used to calculate effective temperature and average temperature of Earth. Effective temperature of the Earth as calculated by such experiment is minus 21 degrees centigrade, that is 252 Kelvin, and average temperature is 288 Kelvin, that is 15 degrees centigrade. Please remember, Stephen's constant can be calculated by this experiment, and Stephen's constant has its standard value also. You can note down this, you can see this formula. Sigma is equal to 2 pi raised to 5 k raised to 4 15 h raised to 3 into c square. When you substitute all these values, you get the Stephen's constant, and then the standard value of Stephen's constant is 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 5 ergs per second per centimeter square plus k raised to 4. Whatever value you are calculating, compare them. The comparison will be done by using this formula. Percentage error will be equal to Stephen's constant standard minus Stephen's constant experimental divided by Stephen's constant standard whole modulus into 100. and in the sample calculation which I have shown, the error is 10%. After repeating this experiment multiple times, the value will become more accurate. So please, thank you for patient listening. I request you to like this video if you have liked it, and please subscribe to my channel.